Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over some common Q&As that I was getting on Instagram. Threw up a quick story just asking for any questions, and I just wanted to use this video to respond to those questions. If you have any other questions after watching this video, drop them down below or DM me on Instagram. Well, let's go ahead and jump right in and answer these questions that I got. So the first question is, how many hours do you work? We all start this business to try to work less and less. But what often happens is we work more and more because we're trying to grind and really grow and build a business. And that's what it often is going to take. We want to build good systems and outsource everything. And that's actually something that I'm really working on. I just actually launched a new prep center. And so I've been working more like 50 to 60 hours a week, which is quite a bit. But before I had moved out here, I was working probably 20 or less, around 20 probably. My goal is to get that down to really as low as possible, maybe 5 to 10 hours a week. I want to get to a point where everything is outsourced to actually run the business, and then I'm just at a position to where I'm making decisions, coming up with new ideas, putting out fires as needed. So right now I'm working 50 to 60. Before the prep center, if I wasn't launching a new prep center, it would be less than that. And then I'm working on getting that down to 5 or 10 by the end of the year. Another question I got was, how hard is it to find a VA? It's not super hard. Whenever you put up a job posting on onlinejobs.ph, that's the best way to find a VA. There's going to be a ton of people applying. There are a lot of people on onlinejobs.ph that want to get a job, that want to work for you, that are really good workers and are going to be great for your company. So I would say if you throw up a job for a product research VA, you're probably going to get close to 100 applications within a few days. And what's really important for this process is that you're doing something to quickly wean out those people that aren't going to be such a good fit. So what I like to do is put a question in my job application, like, what is your favorite food? What's your favorite hobby? Some kind of question that's not necessarily related to the job, but it shows you if they have attention to the detail. If you're hiring someone and they're not going to have attention to detail in their application whenever they're supposed to be their best selves, then you can pretty much assume that they're not going to be detail oriented in the actual job. So anyone who does not follow that instruction of putting the answer to that question at the very top of the response, I just delete it immediately. And you can quickly just read through, do they have some experience? Does it sound like they're going to be good for the job? If so, and that's going to take out probably close to 80% of those applications. But if they meet that criteria, if they look good, then schedule an interview with them. And then you can schedule an interview and determine from there. So it's not a super hard process. The first time you do it, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And then the more VAs you hire, the better you're going to get at it. Another question I got was, would you rather do PL or retail brands? So PL stands for private label. And when they say retail brands, I'm assuming they mean just focusing on existing brands and doing like an arbitrage or wholesale method. My advice is to do arbitrage or wholesale as opposed to private label. The reason being is because those retail brands already have existing demand. We can utilize tools like Keepa to see this brand is already in demand, this product, this specific ASIN, it's already selling, and we can capitalize on opportunities that are already there as opposed to trying to create a new opportunity by launching our own product and our own brand. I haven't done any private label. I can't say for sure that private label is the worst model of the two because I've never done any private label. I know people who have really good success with it. But from a standpoint of being able to just read data and looking at a solved business, you're making decisions based off just reading the data. It's going to be focusing on those existing brands because you don't have to run ads. You don't have to create demand for your product. The demand is already there. You're just making good buying decisions based off of data. Next question is, what system do you use for bookkeeping? I use Inventory Lab. Some people use Inventory Lab and then merge it with GoDaddy Bookkeeping, QuickBooks. I just use Inventory Lab. It syncs up with my Amazon account, gets most of the data done for me. And then once a week with the guy who does my bookkeeping, we go through and he enters any other expenses. So things like software, any kind of like office expense, warehouse salaries for my VA and warehouse team, anything that's not going to be connected directly to the Amazon account, that gets entered on a weekly or monthly basis, depending on what it is. And then we also enter any other income. So things like my prep center income, lead list income, Mercari, any kind of local sale, all that stuff gets entered on a weekly or monthly basis as well, directly in Inventory Lab. So it's all that we use for our bookkeeping. Another question I got is, at what point do you recommend getting a prep center? So there's a couple different answers to this. What I'm going to say is, if you can meet the prep centers and minimums, go ahead and open it up. if it's in a tax-free state and you're currently in a tax state. Look at your cost of goods and see what are the tax savings. A lot of times you're going to find that it's actually going to be cheaper for you to send your inventory to a tax-free state just because of those tax savings. So you could be shipping it in-house, but you might be losing time and money by doing that. So run your numbers and see if it's going to be a good fit for you to send it to a tax-free state prep center. A lot of them are going to have minimums though, and if you can't send like a 500 unit minimum, it's pretty common. If you can't send 500 units, then ship it to yourself. And this will allow you to learn the prep guidelines, learn how to do the prep yourself, and it's also going to allow you to kind of build up that snowball until you can then meet the prep center's requirements. But if you can meet the requirements, go ahead and send it in if the numbers make sense for you, because it's going to allow you to save money and time. All right, those were the questions that I got on my Instagram story. If you have any other questions, please let me know down below or hit me up on Instagram at Logan Altenberger. I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. Just send me a message, slide up on my stories, whatever. Shoot me any questions you got, and I'm more than happy to help. Hope you got value out of this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.